write that song off of that same tune. And he did a very good job in singing it. Thank you, Johnny. So should I continue writing more hymns? That's the way the poem started out. I just wrote a random poem, and now we here have a book, so you might get a hymn book just now too. I have two poems here I want to read. This is a presentation to pay respect to two of the most humble individuals that I know. One of these poems, I've been walking around with it since the 5th of the 11th month, 2018. I'm going to leave that one for last. Because every time I try to catch that individual to read it for them somewhere out at a function, they are not at a function or something different. But the other one, I want to honor somebody, one of my McKnight fellow men. Like I said, one of the most humble persons I ever know. That's Elvis Pepe Isaac. It's right at the body. He was the one who got me into football. Every afternoon after school, I would go down to the garden and he would trade me. And he never let me quit. I'm not really a quitter, but he just pushed me, and I got where I got to in football mainly because of him. And I think Pepe is our very own Pele and one of our most underrated footballers who never really got his due recognition. And so this is my small contribution to my fellow McKnight man. Born and raised in the community of McKnight, we always knew that your star would shine bright. Any competition you entered, you were always on par and held up your end as our very own superstar. The sport of choice by you is mainly soccer, and in your opinion, it should always be played proper, never going on the field just for playing sake, but to win the game while minimizing on mistakes. With or without the ball, you were like a speeding jet. Once you're on the field, the fans knew on which team they had to bet. Being able to play in just about any position on the field, no matter the size of the opponents, you would never yield. Always giving back to the community, the youth you taught, teaching them that it's not always about winning, but the fight they fought. Of course, being victorious also mattered, and you showed us how to do that without getting bruised and battered. You were blessed with a skill that many others only dream of. Be it great or little, it was always enough. Not wasting it, but always using it wisely, and doing your best to pass it on to others selflessly. A well-rounded athlete, versatile in all sports, from the football field to the basketball and even tennis courts. You have the knowledge to not just play, but also referee them, offering your time willingly again and again. Not limiting yourself to play just for your community, but you went above and beyond representing our country. Your skill level was so high that you were compared with Pele. We wanted you to be unique, so we just call you Pepe. You continued playing soccer even when others thought you should retire. They wouldn't understand that everlasting burning desire. Everyone will agree with me that it's a known fact. Our next national hero should be Elvis Pepe Isaac. Why my hostess was peeping on my paper. You see it, ain't it? You see it, ain't it, you know? You ain't see nothing? Okay, I don't know. Like I said, this next individual been eluding me for a very long time. Since the 5th of the 11th month, 2018, I have this poem. Can't get to give it, but it's gonna go to its rightful owner today. From inception into this earth, you were always destined to be an amazing woman with exceptional qualities. Simple, humble, but yet also proud. always on the quiet side and never too loud. Among your classmates, you always stood out, dealing with any situation without having to shout. While others focused on beauty and how they were dressed, your main goal was to pass all of your tests, always remaining among the top 5, with a positive spirit, so vibrant and alive. Never boasting of good grades or what you could do. You said it all in your song, Walk a Mile in My Shoe. That would transform you into Lady Sunshine, competing with the veteran Calypsonians already in their prime. You managed to stand out in that arena, just as you did in the arts of theater. Whether sending a message or acting a comedy, your involvement always helps out even one family. And even though many might not approach you, I'm sure to many young people, you are a role model. When many thought there's nothing else you could do, proving them wrong seems to be a habit with you. Because you ventured into deep waters where many would only stand, when at your age you entered the Miss Black Sand Bangalang. I'm sure your family is overwhelmed with pleasure to see that a simple young lady turned into such a wonderful treasure, never being rude or disrespectful to anyone, but instead always being there as someone to count on. In order to help others, you have found another way by opening the one and only Soup Cafe. If by any chance there's question of whom I'm talking about, she's a phenomenal one and only Yedoma Allen.
Yes,
Well, I see I have company. Because I read a poem for my sister in church Sunday and I cried. So I have company. You know, I cried all the time. I know the feeling.
I only got it just to adjust the papers, I didn't expect to see that at all. Boy, I think that's the greatest thing I've ever been given. Thank you so much. And bad girl don't cry, eh? So I guess I'm not a bad girl anymore. But I'm grateful because not only is Romain a fellow liberal, and you know we are awesome people. He and I entered the halls of what was called Vietnam. Anybody knows what was called Vietnam back in the day? You know what was called Vietnam. You're laughing. Bastard Junior High School. And there's another individual who is on the program too. I think all 3 of us were in the same year. You'll see that individual later. And I remember Romain just being friendly. He didn't stand out. I mean, he was confident. He wasn't rude, but you know, I would always remember him from that point. And one thing I admire about him, I think you're the male version of me. Whatever you see that you're interested in, you go after. Right. You don't care about age, what people say about you, how people pigeonhole you. You do you. So, ladies and gentlemen, the male. But so let's call you the phenomenal man. Well, tell you women, you make me ball. Okay. And there were 3. Not a finite list, but a representation of all those who have in some way, shape, or form played their part, like the potter, in molding our celebrated artist. We succinctly and smoothly, one after the other, will hear from Sylvester Charles, Carlton DuPont, and Clement Junie Liebert. Now, after these 3 brief presentations, we then invite any one of you, members of the audience, to share your heartfelt remarks on this occasion. But first, Sylvester Charles, Carlton DuPont, and Clement Junie Liebert.
evening. I know I had to be first because, yes, and he did not say Lieutenant Charles, so I'll have to charge him for that when he returns to the camp. But I had to be first because I knew him as a tiny little lad over 3 decades ago, all the way back in the Irish Town Primary School. And so this has to be a very proud moment for Romain and his family. Also for the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis. It will have to be a very proud moment, I would say, for the community of McKnight, born and bred. And also for the Irish Town School where he all started. So I knew him as a tiny little lad, always trying his best at school, always, and never shying away from taking chances or from volunteering. He always loved to volunteer. As you would say, he liked to be in things. And so when you call on anyone to do anything, he was the first up. Can I do that? He was very fond of sports too. He can play any sport. He spoke about football, but he can play cricket. He can play lawn tennis. He played hand tennis. He played basketball. And he played netball. And why he had to play netball is because we had to take on the Warriors from the East. I see one somewhere around here. The Newtown Primary School. And so in order to get our girls toughened up, we used the boys. So that when we came up against Newtown, we were tough enough. Well, we lost, and then we won. And then Coach Gillian was no more. Because after we won, that was the end of it. But Romain, persistent as he is and very determined, continue to try things. And if you know anything about Romain, he tries everything. Very talented, but he's not afraid to try. And that is what I love best about Romain. And fast forward into Army days now. He wants to learn to shoot the biggest guns. That's Romain for you. Okay? If we are going on a night out, he's the first. He wants to go. If we are in the band and we are learning to play, he's now at me to teach him how to play the baritone sax. That is different to the sax that he plays. So he's been after me now. He wants to play the baritone sax. I'm going to allow you to play because it's bigger than him. You see? So he wants to try that one out too. I want to congratulate Romain on his achievement. It has not been easy. I recognize the book is named Early at Mornings, and he's normally on the road very, very early, disturbing everybody. Okay, having his supporting staff remove all those bins, making noise. When he sees me and he's in that big chariot, he normally tries to run me off the road, you know. But I still want to congratulate him on this massive achievement for anyone. Okay, and he boasts, he come to the camp, he said, I'm now a licensed author. You know? And so on behalf of all the guys, I see some of us here. I think we outnumber everybody else. Some of the members of the Defense Force, they're right here, but they're covered, so you will not realize. Okay, we have come to support Romain because it's very important to us. We appreciate him, and we like to have him around for a long time. And we hope that he continue to excel. And we hope this will not be the last of the books. Not while you're alive, but we'll have many more books. Once again, on behalf of the Defense Force and all the teachers of the Irish Town School, I think Maisie Holiday will be very proud. She was the head teacher. We had persons like Constantine Richardson, Miss Smith, Carmen Christopher, and then like Assi Martin, Dr. Assi Martin, Robert James. Those were some of the persons. You remember that, right, Pepe? Right. So all of those persons would still appreciate you for what you have done, and I want to commend you and keep growing from strength to strength. Congratulations.
Well, good afternoon. St. Kitts is full of talent. I have never seen the lady there who sang first before, or perhaps I might have,
My minister.
and didn't recognize her, really. But I wish I could have had a recording of you singing that song to play on my shows. I was warmly blessed.
Amen.
I realized that St. Kitts has enormous talented people. We have to shine it. I am extremely happy to be here today because as long as I am alive, I have a conviction within me to support Romain Belgrove. Why? We are living in pangs of distress, time of uncertainty. And if we don't look for the good things in life, we will stray. And I have seen Romain Belgrove as one of those youngsters who people can emulate. He has worked hard. He gave me some trouble as an international football referee, but we are so good today. Isaac, his coach, gave me some trouble too. I made reference on the radio 3 weeks ago that Pepe and I had problem on the field, but we have never had problems off the field. That's important. What problems we had on the field? When you're a referee, you undergo some toughness from players, and that's it. Once Pepe had walked off the field, he has never disrespected me. That's the foundation of goodness. So, Romain, I want to congratulate you on writing this book. I promise you I'll read it off in a week. I'll take my time because I'm a very big reader. I've never went to school. But one of the things I learned later on in my life is that if you read and read and read, you could teach yourself. That is exactly what I have done. I don't wish to go to any university. I don't know anything about the telephone except to call you and you call me. I can't even text. I don't know nothing about YouTube and Facebook and WhatsApp and those things. I want to live a humble life. I don't want nobody to honor me. I want to stay humble and look out for those, the downtrodden, those who are kicked around in politics. We have serious problem in this country. I've finished with politics, active politics. I would like to see our people learn to appreciate others who might not in agreement with us. That is one of the things we are suffering from in this country, and I do hope that in my lifetime, I'll be able to break it down. Look after those who are not supporting you. Romain, I want to congratulate you, and I'm going to pick up 5 of those books from you. 5 to give to young people who I would like to read them, and 1 for myself. And I really wish you all the best in your further development in life and your family. Stay close. I understand you're married? You are? Yes, married. So that is even more important. Today we are not seeing people believing too much in marriage. I'm not against anybody who don't want to marry. But when people are married and trying hard to live good, we must lift them up in society. So congratulations to you, and I wish you the best.
Good evening. Good evening. I'd like to adopt the protocols which have been set. And there's a saying that nothing good comes out of McKnight. You've heard that saying? Yes. Yes. Who has heard that saying?
Yeah.
Quite a few people have heard that saying. Nothing good come out of McKnight. But, and your tongue, exactly, Jay. We know different. I'm a living testament of that. When I was born in McKnight in 1949, I know you're saying, boy, Junior, that old? Age is just a number I've come to discover. Because Japant, how old you be, 60? Yeah. But seriously, folks, there's that saying, and we know that as long as you put your mind and your focus and your willpower into whatever you do in life, you can achieve. It doesn't matter where you come from. One of the things that, since I came to know Mr. Romain Belgrove, and it's quite recently we've established a good relationship at the beach where we jog, and I keep up with him in spite of it, where on weekends he goes by Jill for his Marby, and so I'm going to get my share. But more importantly, I met him at Freedom FM. He had come there to read his works one day, some poem he had brought to tell us that he has a poem about Freedom FM. Well, I like that. And so I said, come on the radio, read your poetry. Because I myself dabbled in poetry back in the 70s and 80s with Okolo Tegromantin. There's a book I wrote called Rhythms of Life. You remember that? Okay. Messages from the Folk, Echoes. I'm a published poet as well. But it all got suppressed and superseded by my broadcasting skills, which is a gift from God. I think God has equipped me to be a broadcaster. And when you know what your niche is in life, you pursue it because that is God's will for you. Romain, he came with his poems. He read them. We were wowed. We didn't even know that he wrote. You know, because Romain is not the guy to hide his talent under any bushel. He's going to explore and explode for the world to see that this is who I am, Romain Belgrove. And I like that. As a fellow McKnighter, I congratulate him for his works. The book launch, which we are witnessing right now, Early Morning Thoughts. And one day, we're at the beach, and I said to him, Romain, what are your early morning thoughts? Because when I get up in the morning, I'm hungry. Is it about food? Oh, you get up next to your wife, the early morning thoughts? You know, what are the early morning thoughts? But when I started to go through the book, because he already gave me a copy of it and autographed it and so on, to Freedom FM, I realized that it encompassed life. It encompassed life, growth, spirituality. And I like that. He spoke about individuals and the warmth that was established in those relationships. Spoke about life in general and what we go through as a people on an everyday basis. And I like that as well. So, Romain, on behalf of Freedom FM, on behalf of myself, my family, and all of us who are here tonight, and those who are looking at the media who will see this later, I want to wish you well. I want to wish you abundantly good health, because with health, you have strength, you have everything. Once you have life, you have everything, you know. A lot of people put their goals and material things and money. They must have money, otherwise, you know, something wrong. I didn't grow up having any money. I was born in an alley in McKnight with a drain that used to run right through the center of the alley. That didn't deter me from reaching my goals in life. And the same for my fellow McKnighter. I love him like a brother. We've gotten to know each other close, and I recognize his talent and his skills, and I try to elevate them, give him a platform from which he can launch his poetry. And whenever he has written anything, he comes to Freedom to release. I never charged him a penny. Because culture is the soul and spirit of a nation. And that must arise. Romain, congratulations on Early Morning Thoughts. To you and your family, I wish you well and every success. And as the brother there said, we're looking for the next edition pretty soon. God bless you.